In all my years of working as a branding professional, I've had the privilege to work with some small business owners that really grasp the concept of branding. And it's not as if they have they read some branding book or they went to some branding school. They don't know the terminologies that people like me and other people that talk about branding come with. But they kind of just have an innate understanding that I need to present myself in a certain light to my clients for them to see me a certain way, to achieve a certain business objective, for example. So the most recent person came to us and they wanted to give their brand a more premium feel because they felt like the caliber of projects they were working on, their brand didn't kind of meet up to that. The way they presented themselves didn't really meet up to that. So my whole shtick as a branding evangelist, if you will, someone who talks about branding, is to get more small business owners to be able to understand what branding is and to understand that in many cases, all that is needed for us to be doing the right thing as far as branding goes, it's just a tiny shift, right? In order for me to achieve that, one of the things I realized I haven't done enough of is to help small business owners to even understand what the benefits are of branding. I feel like it's an important piece of information in the puzzle I'm trying to put together. So, and that's what I'm going to be talking about today. I'm going to be talking about 6 benefits that small business owners can gain from building a strong brand. Benefit number 1. Building a strong brand can help small business owners attract and retain customers in a competitive market. So let's break that into 2 parts: attract and retain. Attracting customers is marketing. In marketing, you tell them, or at least you insinuate to your customers what they should expect if they do business with you. Retaining them is actually living up to that, or maybe even exceeding those expectations that you set in attracting them. If you do that, you've done the right thing. That's a high level way of explaining what we're doing here. When someone enters your store, you want them to feel a certain way. But don't spoil it by having bad customer service. When someone comes to your website, they trust you, like, okay, these people seem to be doing something right. Don't mess it up with your customer service. Don't mess it up with a crappy product. You know what I mean? So those are 2 sides of a very important equation. You have to attract them and you have to live up or exceed their expectation to retain them. The majority of a business's income typically comes from customers that are retained. It typically comes from retainerships. So if you find yourself in a situation where you don't really have return customers, you might be doing something wrong. Maybe you need to tweak your service offering to include retainerships somehow. And if you do have a retainership, but people are not buying the retainership, then you might need to work on your customer experience. So that's number 1. Number 2, small business owners can use their brand to differentiate themselves from larger competitors and establish a unique identity in the market. We once worked with a client that wanted to carve out a niche in a market filled with, the big consulting giants like KPMG, Accenture, Deloitte, and those guys, right? They were not competing for the whole market that those guys were in. They just wanted a small part of the market. And their service offering was differentiated in that they were not offering every single thing those guys were offering. They were just offering a small part of that for a select group of people. So they were definitely eating into a market that included giants who rendered that. Upon hearing that, I had a deep respect for the clients because they already had a differentiated offer. So in coming to us, they just wanted us to help them to present themselves in a differentiated manner. So we helped them with their visuals, we helped them with their strategy, and they were able to make some ground in the market that is dominated by those big guys. The fact that you're a small business doesn't mean you can't compete with large corporations, because you definitely can. You just have to be creative about it. You have to be differentiated. So these guys were differentiated, with their offering. Then they ended up being differentiated in the way they looked, the way they sounded, in their approach to going to the market, and in the way they deliver their service. Their service delivery experience was, very, very important. So that's another example of how building a strong brand can benefit a small business. Building a strong brand can help small business owners establish trust and credibility with customers, which can lead to increased sales and revenue. So, when you're known for something, you've built a brand, your brand is strong, and you're known for something, it's easier for you to get customers to say yes if they need what you're offering, of course. But like people say, there is a phrase that goes, people do business with who they know, like, and trust, right? So you build that. So to get people to know you, they must have seen you somewhere before. So like, which is one of the reasons why I'm doing what I'm doing now, to get me in the front of as many people as possible. So if we meet in the future in person, I've kind of built some sort of rapport. I've not met you before, you've not met me before, but you've seen me somewhere before, and that kind of registers as trustworthy, unless I'm an a-hole on camera, or when we meet I act in a way you don't like. But typically, without any interaction beyond what I'm doing, if you see me in enough places and I resonate properly with you, when we meet in person and you need something I'm offering, I'm most likely to get you to say yes. That just as an example. So when you build a strong brand, this is something you can achieve. You can get more people to say yes. If people love what you're offering and they love the way you offer it to them, they can even talk to more people on your behalf. So it's it runs really deep like that. A consistent brand message across all platforms can help small business owners to build brand awareness and recognition. So this speaks to trust building, right? When your message, your visuals are consistent across all platforms. So they see you on social media, you look a certain way, you sound a certain way. You go to your website, you look that same way, you sound that same way. You come to your office, you look that same way, you sound that same way. You go to maybe you run a print ad, you look that same way, you sound that same way. It builds trust because it will seem like you're genuinely this person that you're portraying to be. But if you're something today, you're another thing tomorrow, you're another thing the next day, you're all over the place. People can sense. That's like, if you bring it to human interaction, that's how people can sense when somebody's being fake. I've seen you on Tuesday, you're a certain way, but today you're acting different. They'll tell you you're acting weird. We know this innately as human beings. It's psychology. So if your brand is all over the place, people will definitely feel that, and I feel like a lot of small businesses are suffering from this. So this is one of the tiny shifts that needs to happen. Just figure out the way you want to sound, or be deliberate about the way you want to sound and the way you want to look, and make sure that you execute on that across board all the time. It's not the thing that is going to make customers stream into your business, but like, it definitely helps to build trust along the way to getting your customers. So number 5, building a strong brand can help small business owners to create a loyal customer base, which can lead to word of mouth marketing. So I remember not too long ago, I was having a discussion about branding with a small business entrepreneur. Obviously, being a brand evangelist, I'm always talking about branding where I go, and I was talking to him about it, and he was like, man, I don't need any of that right now. Which, to be fair, I understand. It's true. Like, you're starting your business. The first thing you're trying to figure out is, I need to get a couple of customers, to get my product or my service out of a couple of customers. And then the one that sounded weird to me was, he said he doesn't need the market, and I'm like, It was like, if your product or service is good, people will talk. Definitely people will talk, but how do you attract those people in the first place, right? So he has a point in that having a good product or service is good, but I would take it a step further by saying having a product or service wrapped in a very interesting customer service will go a long way for you. When we're talking about differentiation, many people have a good product or service as good as yours, some even better. But like, if you're able to wrap that in a very interesting customer service, especially as a service business, and trust me, there's nothing more powerful than word of mouth. So I understand why the guy felt the way he felt about word of mouth marketing. So the final one A strong brand can help small business owners to charge premium prices, which can increase revenue. So I once had a client come to me a while ago. She said she wanted to refresh her brand because she wanted to increase her prices. You know how it is now with inflation and everything. You can't remain the same price. But she wanted her brand to give up the feel of a premium brand. So we helped her with the visuals, the visual identity. We helped her with her packaging, and she took it a step further. She even worked on her interior decoration. Yeah, and so when she increased her prices, of course, she still got pushback from her old clients. But when you walk into the store, you know that okay, this is not the same brand I was doing business with last year, and things of that nature. So that's another thing you can do with branding. Another one that isn't on this list, consider this one like a bonus one. So let's say you have an app, or let's say an API. You want to start a startup, but you need investors to kick it off the ground and to really go to market, but you haven't done any branding. Having a little bit of branding done can actually help your pitch along in building trust with your investors and helping them to see your vision a little bit more. So that's like a bonus one. Yeah, so those are some benefits of building a strong brand for small businesses. If you made it to this part of the video, thank you very much for sticking along with me. I'm doing everything I can to keep improving these videos. I'm doing everything I can to keep improving the way I present these videos. And it will help me a lot if you just subscribe, share with someone if you feel this was helpful. And if you feel it wasn't helpful, could you just tell me why? The whole idea is to improve as I go. And then if you have any comments, put them in the comment section. At this point, I have barely any subscribers, so feel free to leave a comment. I definitely will see it, and I definitely will respond. Just keep it respectful. That's all I ask. Thanks for watching. See you next time.